Well, hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you how to draw bushes and shrubbery and other things found in nature. So we're going to go ahead and try to get into it. I got my handy dandy pen and we're ready to go. I am, of course, your host, CB Smallwood, the host of Sketching Past Midnight Live, the creator of Wildcat and Monster Patrol and a whole bunch of other things, and the publisher of New Empire Comics. So first of all, being able to draw bushes and shrubbery is important if you're into graphic design, into drawing comics, if you do paintings, and a whole number of things. So this should apply to all those things and a lot more. So I think the first thing that I want to show you, let's make sure this pen's working. We're going to start with what I like to call a basic outline. Okay, so a basic outline for shrubbery would be something like this. You basically just do a bunch of humps, right? And let's zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. Okay, there we go. There we go. Got the camera working now. So just think of puffy clouds or anything like that. Doesn't have to be super fancy, and you just let your hand kind of go wherever your hand wants to go. We go for when we do these shapes, I try to think a little bit of like doing like a pyramid. And I think that tends to work out well, and we stack them one upon the other, and I think it gives it a good shape. And sometimes you'll have two pyramids that shape out of one, so something like this. And then you can have three pyramid shapes that shape out of one bush or shrubbery. So this here would be your basic outline, and you would use this for basically in your backgrounds when your characters or whatever is in nature, or even rush jobs. And you have to keep in mind, if you do a basic outline for an entire comic, your colorist can come in and save you and actually add a lot of the details. So that's something else to think about. So this is your basic outline. So now what we're going to do is we're going to amp up a little bit the basic outline. We're going to add some more details to it. So I'm just going to call this, for lack of a better word, if I can spell, I can't spell half the time, to be honest, the detailed bush. Okay, and in my opinion, I think this is your go-to bush when you're doing comics or graphic novels, I don't know, paintings, drawings, sketches. So we're going to again start with the pyramid shape, just kind of get things going. I'm going to keep it very loose because here in a little bit I'm going to add a lot of detail, maybe, or at least more detail than what I did on the first set with the basic outline. So in the detailed bush, what we're going to do is we're going to add these little jagged things. Now I think there's probably more than two ways, but I'm going to show you two ways. One is when we're drawing the leaves, there is the diamond, which doesn't have to be exact. And then there's more like this type of shape, which is what I tend to use because it's quicker. Both achieve the desired effect, but I think this one kind of looks a little cooler. If you can pull that off and, and do that like a couple hundred times, then you're the man, you're the woman, you're the whatever. So let's go ahead and start adding a lot of these type of details. So we 1 and 2 here. And so you'll notice right away that they don't necessarily connect to the bush always, and that's okay, because that implies that there is, there's light and things like that coming in. So there's no real rhyme or reason to this stuff. You just kind of have to guesstimate it. And, when I think of bushes or shrubbery or anything like that, these are things that are, of course, found in nature. And nature, doesn't follow so much rulers and that type of thing. What what nature does is it wants to survive. Everything about things found in nature is all about survival. We sometimes forget that as human beings, I guess. In our life of comfort, especially if you live in what do they call that? It's not the civilized world. That's not the right word for it, but the industrious world. I don't know. You notice that I'm just kind of adding little things here and there that I feel makes it a little bit better. There's a few bald spots that don't feel right to me, so I'll add a few more things in there. I'll fill this bald spot in, and I'm kind of doing when I'm doing my bushes or shrubbery or whatever, I do like these little arcs when I fill in the individual leaves or whatever. So you can see I've done it here and done that there. So that's kind of how I do that. I'm following, my kind of basic outline of what I did for the bush here. Now, had I drawn this in pencil, I would have lightly erased the outline and just went ahead and just started drawing again with the pencil over top the faded outline, the leaves. That's a trick that I saw. What is his name? I feel like he's got Adams in his name. Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes does it a lot, and a lot of comic book artists use that trick, where they will lightly pencil something in, and they'll erase that and then kind of redraw it over top of it. I could have used a pencil in this video, but I notice a lot of people, when they do their art videos, sometimes if they try to draw something in pencil, you can't really see what they're doing. And so I decided that what I would do is I would use a handy dandy ink pen to make sure that there was clarity in my lines. Now I may actually add some more basic outlines here, just for the sake of it. I don't like how this last bush has come together. And I'll give one more point on drawing bushes or shrubbery. And what that point is, and I'm not exactly doing it well here, is I tried to keep things as odd as I can. Now what I mean is, this is even, where we got like all these circles in a row, and in nature things tend to go odd. As I was trying to apply earlier, and I didn't get finished with my point, is in nature, everything is trying to survive. And so as it's trying to survive, everything tends to be odd because it's trying to chase, if it's plants, for example, most plants try to chase the light. So tree branches, you name it, weeds, whatever, they're going to grow wherever they can get the most light at. And so you're not going to see, like, typically leaves, it's going to stack up like that. What you're going to see is maybe one here, one on top, one on the bottom, See, that looks a little bit more organic. We could do it more like here, and then maybe there's two there, one here, one there, one there. You see how that looks even more organic? So that's what I mean by odd. You want, when you draw your leaves, to be more oddly spaced out like that. And it can be difficult to do, especially when you draw like what looks like about 100, a little over 100 little leaves. So that's how you do your detailed bush, okay? Now I got one more bush that I want to show you, and again, for lack of a better word, we're going to call this the shadow bush, because the shadow bush is all about the mystery, okay? And so so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of lightly put in a shape here. And I think that's good enough. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to lightly kind of put in this. Now, this right here is going to be where the rim light is hitting. You know, like light is coming down from the sky. And for one reason or another, it's only able to illuminate part of this bush. So wherever light doesn't hit, you're going to see shadow, okay? And so this is a big bush, you know, it's taking up this whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start first, and we're going to do what we did before with the detailed bush, and we're going to start adding in all these random leaves, because it, you know, looks cool if it's done right. I'm not necessarily the best guy when it comes to drawing things. Maybe I shouldn't be doing tutorial videos. But the thing is, I feel like as a guy that has struggled, that I want to share what I know, or what I think I know, and I want to pass it on to you, because I know I would have greatly appreciated a lot of this knowledge early on in my indie comics career, if you will, because it's been massively, you know, helpful to me. And I want to help you out. You know, I don't want you to struggle like I did. You know, I want you to be the next Jim Lee, Dale Keon, Neil Adams, and insert your favorite artist here. You know, I want you to be that person. I want you to be the next you. Without any reservations whatsoever, you know. Whatever we can do to get you there quicker, that's what we need to do. Okay, so now we're going to get to a little bit more of the more difficult part. We're going to take this random, not used for art, Visimax dry erase marker. And I'm going to start shading. So now what I'm doing is I am doing like these little leaf impressions right here and there. I'm trying to make it as odd as I can. It's coming out kind of a little too even for it to look good, in my opinion. Everything's a little, see how I got 4 in a row, and how it draws your eye in a bad way. So I want to, maybe I'll just make some of them bigger. Just let my hand kind of go sporadic to see if I can try to clean any of this up, because I'm a little too even. So now what we're going to do with the shadow brush, we're start shading in the back part. So we got the back part of this bush shaded. I have one more trick to show you that I think, well, you know, one more trick on this bush to show you. Now, I use like different types of white gel pens. This one is a Uniball Signo. And we're going to try this. This may work good, it may not. But you want to use some type of white, either white out or a white gel pen. And you're going to draw these little shapes here that are not coming in well, but that's okay, because I've come prepared. So now we're going to use a jelly roll. Yeah. At first you don't succeed, try again. So now we're going to use a jelly roll tin, Japan Sakura brand. You even got the barcode there if you want to scan that. And that's number 10, if that means anything. So let's try again. Let's see if we can produce a better result. Much better. Night and day. Night and day. And I think this gives it, I don't know, just makes it look more interesting. Now, if you notice, like some of the how it's not coming in fully white and stuff, that's okay, because digitally you can clean some of this stuff up, because when you scan it, you can adjust the levels on it, the light and dark levels. Okay, there we go. I think I fixed it. And really get some interesting stuff going on here. Okay. There you go. So that's how you do your shadow bush. And again, just a quick reminder, when we're drawing like rows of leaves or anything, I'm doing things in an arc. It doesn't matter if it's this way, that way, this way, that way. The goal is wherever you think the light will be hitting at, that's where the tree branches and the leaves and the weeds will be chasing, because they crave the light. Now, we've got these three types of bushes. We've got the basic outline that we start with, and you can actually just use the basic outline by itself, especially in backgrounds. Sometimes when you're doing more of a foreground type of picture, we've got the detailed bush, and for background stuff, or I'm sorry, for foreground stuff, or even background, middle ground, doesn't matter, your shadow bush. Okay, so we got the shadow bush, which, you know, you can also do a basic outline entirely in shadow as well. There's so many different variations, and I'm going to show you one last thing that I think is interesting. And I guess what I would call this is, I have no idea, but I'm just going to call it the light and shadow foreground bush. You can tell I thought that up on the spot. So, okay, so what is this light and shadow foreground bush that I'm talking about? Well, okay, I want you to think that you're that you know, in a comic book page, graphic novel, a painting, some type of digital art or whatever. On the ground of the page, we've got some type of rubble, some weeds, you know, going on here, maybe a tree branch, root of a tree, and we'll put some humps here, some more rocky type of ground, and this, whatever that might be, could be a big rock, and yeah, I think that'll do. So what we're going to do with this is, if I still got ink left in my dry erase pen, is we're going to darken this We're going to put this in shadow very sloppily. Now, of course, you know, when you're doing your art on your own, you'll take the time to do it correctly. But for this lesson, I'm just trying to go quickly because I want you to get more of the idea of what I'm doing as opposed to perfection. You know, I'll let you do the perfection because I say you're more qualified to do it, and you've got the skills and the talent, and I believe in you. I know you can do this stuff. And I just want to remind you, you know, if you're the type of person that can only draw a stick man or whatever, keep drawing. If you got a passion for it, or you got a big interest in drawing, then please don't give up. That's the worst thing you can do. I see the hidden potential in you, and I know that you can do this because, let me let you in on a secret. A lot of people that are professional comic book artists, for example, or people that are painters or whatever, they start out with drawing stickman, you know, as the foundation of the drawing. So if you're already drawing a stickman, you're well ahead of the curve. Now all you have to do is just start adding on the circles and stuff like that. That would be the muscles and what have you. And you're well on your way for drawing the human anatomy. You know, anybody can draw if they really put their mind to it. And everything about drawing is about, or art is about practice. The more you practice, the better you get. So we got the shadow portion of this foreground, which is on the ground. And so what I would like to do now is start adding some contrast to the shadow I draw by drawing something that's more in light. So I'm going to put some shrubbery here. And sometimes, like if I got something like this, I like to do that because it looks cool. It makes it look like it's more behind what is in the foreground. Can't really explain it, but when you see these little things that pop up, take the opportunity to exploit it and do something with it, you know. And I'm going to do one. Shoot, this is getting pretty ugly, but whatever. And 1, 2, and now three pyramid type of shape. And I guess to add a little bit more to this bush, I'll start adding a few more details. Maybe not too many. I don't know. It just depends on how it looks as I'm doing it. And I'm trying to keep things odd. You know, with my leaf or leaves placement. Sometimes it's coming out even. But you know, you can find some things that are even in nature, but more often than not, you're going to see a lot of odd placement of things in terms of leaves, branches, rocks, rubble, whatever. And yeah, there we go. It's looking halfway decent. So I think what I'll do for this example, I'm only going to add leaves to half of this drawing because I want you to kind of see both versions, and you make a calculated choice as to, you know, what you would want to do in any given situation. So in both of these work. So on one hand, we've got the shadow foreground, and we got these detailed type of bush type of thing, and then on the other hand, we've got this shadowed foreground, and then in the background we've got this bush which is bathed in light, but doesn't have a lot of those details that the other bush has, and both of them will work just fine with whatever you're wanting to do. So zooming out on this lesson here, if we can. Sorry guys. All right, so quick overview of CB's How to Draw Bushes and Shrubbery and Other Things Found in Nature and Whatnot. We've got your basic outline, which you can use for pretty much everything. You can do your whole book, your basic outline of bushes and stuff, and your colors can fill in the details. But now if you're wanting to do something more varied, you would use the basic outline for rush jobs and also to put in your background. We've got your detailed bush, which has a lot of leaves and things on it. And again, you can do different size leaves. I've been doing these very tiny leaves, and you can do diamond shaped leaves, these leaves, and it seems like I've even seen very quickly, you know, if I was just to do just a jagged edge approach here, you know, big gigantic leaves that look like confetti, which I'm not particularly great at. I can't remember if I picked this up from Carrie Nord or who, but clearly I didn't pick it up well enough. But I've seen like confetti like bushes. So the point is, there's so many different ways to draw a bush. So we have the detailed bush, and then I showed you over here the shadow bush. Don't know why I need arrows pointing to it, but the shadow bush, which is a little bit more complex, a little bit more time consuming, but it produces a really nice thing. You can do an entire bush in shadow. And then of course we've got light and shadow foreground bush, which we've shadowed this in, we put the foreground and shadow in the background. We've got this. You can do things in reverse, and there's so many different possibilities. So there you have it, folks. That is CB's How to Draw Bushes and Shrubbery and Other Things Found in Nature. I am, of course, CB Smallwood, the host of Sketching Past Midnight Live, where we talk about all things comic, sci-fi, horror, fantasy, pop culture, and also things that go bump in the night. I am the creator of Wildcat and Monster Patrol. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know this has been a bit of a long video, but sometimes to cover something properly, you got to take the time to explain it. I hope this has been helpful. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments down below. And if for some reason I can't answer it, I guarantee you there's going to be some wonderful person out there that might have the answers for you. As always, please support this channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, but we'll see how that goes. And as always, I will see you in the next video.